Welcome back to the Johnson 10. Thank you for stopping by my video today. Today I'm going to be making for you a family favorite. It's baked macaroni and cheese. My great-grandmother passed it down to my grandmother and she passed it down to me. And of course, I make some shortcuts and make it easy and fast to get on the table to feed my family. My children and everybody else loves the baked macaroni and cheese. So let's just get straight into this video. All right, friends, here's the ingredients. The elbow noodles, 4 eggs, a stick of butter already cut up, salt and pepper. I measured out 2 cups of cheese, but you'll see I'll use more than that. I usually don't measure, but I'm trying to measure for you guys so you guys can have like a guideline. And whole milk. I like to use whole milk. This is the only thing I really use whole milk for because it makes it nice and rich and creamy. And of course a casserole dish to put it in the oven when you're done. So over here I'm boiling my water. You want your water nice and bubbling, boiling hot, ready for the noodles, and you want to only cook them about 7 to 12 minutes. You kind of want them al dente so that when you place them in the oven, after you mix it all up, it won't overcook and become mushy. So I just put my elbow noodles in and give it a nice stir because the noodles tend to stick together and make it not good for the macaroni and cheese. And I'm going to place a top on it to let it get nice and hot. I'm going to take the top off. You don't want to leave a top on it. It can overflow and make a big mess. And I also put salt in it as it's boiling for 2 reasons. For flavor, of course, and to help it also with not sticking together as they're cooking in the hot water. So you want to give it a nice stir, and you want to check your noodles often because noodles tend to clump together and cook together. So you want to just give it a nice stir, make sure it's not sticking. So that's what I'm doing there. And now my noodles are done. I cooked them a little bit too much. I was having a pretty rough time with the camera this day, but they're done now. So now you still want them a little firm, as I said before. So now I'm going to take them over to the sink and strain. As you can see, like most of my water is gone. I usually have more water left. And right there it's sticking to the bottom of the pan. You don't want to scrape that out because those are overcooked and can be really soft and mushy and give the macaroni and cheese the wrong consistency. So I set that on the side of the sink and run some water in and make it easy for cleanup later on. Now I'm going to come over to the counter and I use my big mixing bowl so that I can mix it well because this casserole dish is small, so you have a hard time. I have a hard time mixing all the ingredients, the eggs and the cheese and the salt and the pepper and the milk to get it all mixed in well with each other. I use my nice big mixing bowl. So now you just put all the ingredients together in one dish. Almost made a big mess in the kitchen. And I'm not going to use all these noodles. I actually made a pan of macaroni and cheese for a friend as well. So you'll see I won't use all those noodles. I tend to cook too many noodles because I'm used to cooking big pans of big macaroni and cheese. And then here I'm cracking the eggs and putting them in. I'm only going to use 3 eggs. I had 4 out, but I decided to only use 3. My kids for a long time didn't know that you put eggs in macaroni and cheese. So one time when they saw it, they just couldn't believe it. I don't know. So here's the butter, nice and soft and ready. You know, you want to mix this up while it's hot. That way everything that you put in can start to melt up and blend together pretty well. I don't measure my milk. I just pour it in. I like to put a nice amount of milk so it can be nice and rich and creamy. And that's the 2 cups of cheese. And you'll see I'm going to add another 2 cups of cheese. And then I'm adding my salt and my pepper. I think here I put like 3 of the little scoops of salt. I wound up adding more salt. I tasted and it just wasn't enough salt for me. So I added more salt into it. And I eyeball my pepper as well. I'll show you after I pour it in. I pretty much go by the looks. I've been making this macaroni and cheese a long time. I think I was about 17 with my grandmother when she taught me how to put the macaroni and cheese together. I've been making it a long time. So you just stir it up really good, get it all nice and mixed in well together, and stir, stir, stir. And that's another thing, if you overcook your noodles and then you stir it up like this, because you have to stir it really well, you can really mess the macaroni and cheese up and make it mushy. And yep. So here I am adding 2 more cups of cheese because I just felt like it wasn't cheesy enough. My family really loves cheesy macaroni and cheese. Well, cheesy anything. So I'm taking my time and stirring it up some more. As soon as we took this out of the oven, when I cut the camera off, my son came right in there with a plate behind me and grabbed him a bowl, a big old bowl of it. And they love the macaroni and cheese. So here you just want to scoop it into your casserole dish. Even it out, kind of make it flat and even. I don't know if you can see, but all that milk in the bottom of there just makes it, I don't know, moist and cheesy when it's done. And then I also cover it with aluminum foil, and my oven is already preheated to 400 degrees, and I cook it for about 30 minutes in the oven with the aluminum foil on the top. And you want to do that because the noodles can get hard and dried out fast before all your cheeses and everything gets melted together. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. So you want to cover it with aluminum foil. I took it out. This is after 30 minutes. It's not really how I like it. I usually like it bubbling and hot and sizzling. So I'm going to put it back in the oven. I think I did for another 7 to 10 minutes without the aluminum foil on the top to try to get it melted together a little better. Nice and hot and cheesy. You'll see the difference when I take it out the oven. Now here it is. I think it was 7 to 10 minutes. I took it out the oven, and you'll see the cheeses. You see those bubbles, and you see that nice and hot, the brown down the bottom, and you see that right there. That's what you want it to look like when it comes out the oven. And now I'm going to add another cup of cheese to the top to give it a nice cheesy topping. And like I said, you want to be careful when you put this back in the oven because it can dry out and get really hard on the edges first. And it can make it unpleasant when you're eating hard and chewy macaroni and cheese. And you can also cover it with the aluminum foil if you would like. If you feel like if you feel safer having it cooking the entire time with the aluminum foil on the top of the macaroni and cheese, that will be fine as well. But I like to take mine off and let it get a little brown as well. But it's all your preference. Now I'm going to put this back in the oven for 10 minutes. Nice and cheesy. I don't remember what I was saying here, but I decided to do a voiceover. It was a lot going on in the house that day. I didn't give it 7 minutes. I gave it about 5 because the edges look like they're starting to really brown. So there is the finished product. Baked macaroni and cheese. You see it's brown in there. The edges are brown, it's bubbling. Do you hear that? Bubbling, hot and cheesy, delicious. Now I'm gonna plate it up for you. And let you see what the insides look like. Nice and hot and cheesy. So here it is, hot and homemade cheesy baked macaroni and cheese. Now the shortcuts I took, I used the already shredded cheese, not the best quality cheese this time, but like my grandmother, when she makes it, she buys like the Cracker Barrel cheese or like a top quality block cheese and shred it. I do that when I have time or am in the mood for that. But just a regular macaroni, fast macaroni and cheese dinner I'm making, I'll just use shredded cheese. You can put cream cheese if you want it cheesier. Now I know it's early to be talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, the holidays, but I don't know about you, but this is a staple on our table. So that's something to think about when you watch this video. If you don't know how to make this delicious comfort food, watch my simple video. Look at the cheese on how to make this. Thanks for watching, friends. Let me know if you try to make this. Let me know how it turned out. I appreciate you stopping by. Please like, share, and subscribe. I have so much fun making these videos. It's just a way that I can help the community. Also occupying myself in my time as if I need occupying. It's just fun. Thanks for watching, friends. See you later.